Hello? Okay, here we are now, part 2 of our review. Okay, I have to do reviews really because it's the flaw in my plan. That flaw is that if I get into 30 videos, let's say, to get it all, you're going to have to go back to the beginning. I'm going to go back to the beginning and see all 30, So I have to have points where we kind of gather everything and they can start there at those points and kind of get an idea of what we're coming from, really, basically. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reason we have to do reviews. And plus, like I say, they're good to review it and get concise, a little more concise, and know what we're dealing with and talking about. So there. Hope the light's okay. It's getting darker here in California, the winter, and the light shading. So I'm doing the best I can. I think this might be nice, though. Okay, so 90%, because we get hypnotized to this 3D illusion. We create all these delusions about, ego-backed delusions about. 90% of what goes on our heads in this world, on this planet, in this 3D, is meritless. Okay, it has no real merit. We entertain ourselves constantly with thoughts that don't go anywhere and don't mean anything. We only think they go somewhere, and we only think they mean things, and they don't. So 90% of what goes on in our heads is full of crap, like I've said in the last part of the review of the other video. So what good is, how good is that going to be moving forward? You know what I mean? It gives an idea how lost and stuck we are in a place we don't really want to be. We're in an Alice in Wonderland world, okay? We think things that are big are actually small, and things that are small in this world are actually very, very big. So that's it. It's an inverted world that we live in, and we're going to find our way out. And the way out is to the heart wisdom, to the heart resonance, where God and Jeshua and everybody sits and awaits our arrival. Really, two things I've come up with to ease the sense of work into things I do. Here's one here. There will be no effort needed here today, no discipline required, or work needed. For as I fall back into these exercises and relax, staying in each breath, staying in each moment, doing each and every movement in love and in joy, ever the sharp eye to slow everything down, creating inner space. So the universe can come to me, work through me, doing the exercises for me and for the larger community. That last part is very important as we get into non-doership. We don't think of things just as ourselves doing them for us. As I do breathing and other things, I imagine others there with me and I do them on their behalf, not only my behalf. See, that's a wonderful way to start thinking unity consciousness. And that's why that's so important. Another one. As I fall into each breath, I fall into each moment, off the time track, into no effort. See the awesome power, see that I behold the awesome power of these exercises, and help me love this process. Help me be strong. Into each breath I fall, into each moment. Okay, that's another one. Off the time track is a particularly good line in that one, because that's how you get into non-effort too. You don't think of things in a linear time track way where you have to exert a certain amount of effort to get through a certain amount of time, and when you're done with that, you can get back to your regular life out there, and that's how you create effort. That's how you create a sense of work. As you get into each moment and stay there, each breath, each and every movement in love and in joy, ever the sharp eye to slow everything down, then you begin to apprehend and to see what non-effort is all about. And that's what we're headed toward here. We're headed toward a non-effort way of doing things. I have, because of these things I've said, and because I've learned, and I've meditated a lot, and I've learned how to stay in each breath and stay each moment, the energization exercises and the Sudarshan Kriya are like fond friends now. Okay, they're like fond friends I sit with for a while and enjoy a conversation. Okay, so That's what it feels like now, and it's a softer approach, and it's something that you'll come across one day too. It just takes a little bit of meditation and a little bit of doing, and you'll see what I mean about the non-effort. It's the way to solve the problem of a lot of people not really doing the stuff. All right. Because it seems effortful to them, and it doesn't have to be that way. It's a mistake. It's a mistaken apprehension. Sudarshan Kriya. As I fall back into non-effort part 1 and part 2, look at those. I've explained it fully, and I've showed you what it is that are beneficial with Sudarshan Kriya, and I've given you a sample of what it is. I've given you a tutelage on what it is really. But you're going to have to go to Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Art of Living online, or maybe even on YouTube, and learn how to do Sudarshan Kriya from them. It's a wonderful breathing technique that I've learned, and I recommend it highly. Is it necessary to get to the heart in that sense? Probably not. But what it does is it cleans you out and raises your vibration slowly and surely. And anything that does that is going to make this process a little better and a little easier. Okay, so good for that. The energization exercises by Paramahansa Yogananda, they are on YouTube. Okay, just plug in Yogananda or Ananda energization exercise, and a guy will come there. It's been on my feed. It just all of a sudden I'm talking about it. All of a sudden it pops up on the feed. Funny, huh? So they're there. It's about a 16-minute process. You'll see it takes them 16 minutes to get through it, and you'll see how that's done on there. They're really a good set of exercises too. They're one of the 5 that I had done that I've told you about that have reset myself really in a lot of ways. So on the Sudarshan Kriya, I added more breaths. Okay, basically the Sudarshan Kriya part, that last third, is 20 breaths, 40 breaths, and 40 breaths. Okay, I moved that up. Okay, I moved it up to 30 breaths, to 120 breaths, and 240 breaths. Okay, which is a significant increase. I did that because I felt as though that's what I needed to get through what I wanted out of these, which is a way to rid my depression. Interestingly enough, I was listening to one of the YouTube videos that came through from Galactic, and they said go out for a walk every day, but take a soft walk. A soft walk. They said we don't want any extremes, or we don't buy into any extremes. Now, what I did with the Sudarshan Kriya is kind of extreme, and along with the whole thing, it's extreme. So that's something for me to think about. And as I go out for my power walks, usually I'm starting to incorporate a softer approach to it, and see if that softer quality is indeed more powerful than the more exerted kind of. And it may be in certain respects, because I always think basically of exertion to get to the largest effect out of these things I do, and that may be slightly wrong. So we learn as we move forward on all these types of things. We are after greater alertness and greater awareness. This is what we're trying to build with all these things we do, and that's where the Sudarshan Kriya and energization exercise come in. If they yield greater alertness, greater awareness, these are 2 very valuable qualities and traits that we want to keep increasing. These 2 traits are more important than a good education. I'm not kidding you. Learning how to increase alertness and awareness in the moment are more important than a good education. I've seen enough good educated idiots, that really aren't that aware and aren't that alert. And they become too beholden to the things they've been educated to. They get eagerly involved in it, and it becomes a mess, really. And I've seen educated idiots enough to know that education isn't the only answer. It's a part of the answer. And I'm not saying we don't educate ourselves, but I am saying the most important thing as we move forward is greater alertness and greater awareness. That's what we're shooting for. Okay, but greater momentary alertness, momentary awareness. When you're on mushrooms, you are extremely alert and extremely aware. Okay, as I've told you, I've taken those kinds of things. No ordinary moments. Remember that. Now, no ordinary moments is extremely powerful. That there are no ordinary moments. We think of regular life as regular ordinary moments. I spent a lot of my life wishing I was somewhere else, wishing I was someone else, doing something somewhere else. You know what I mean? How bad could that be? The idea of no ordinary moments is really, really powerful, because every moment is equal to every other moment. There aren't really, you know, if you're up there on stage receiving an Academy Award or a Grammy, you think that is the moment. That is that. And maybe a little bit, but that moment is no greater than the moment you're sitting around the kitchen table with your family, talking and conversing and sharing a meal and those types of things. So there are no ordinary moments. This is where alertness and awareness come in. That's what that teaches you. Sitting in the heart teaches you that there are no ordinary moments. So that's an important thing we've discussed, and we'll continue to discuss that. If you do fall to the heart, and I have, and you begin to perceive life from there, you become self-love. Okay, you become a certain tender-hearted quality about yourself and everybody around you. And when I'm talking about the gold, jewels, and riches in the heart, that's what I'm talking about. Those two are very, very valuable things to become. You become self-love. Then you're at home. In a way, when you realize you become self-love, you realize you've made it home. That's what it means. As we sit in our heads trying to think our way to self-love, which we all are trying to do these days, we have to get to greater self-love. That's the basis for a take-off point for other things. We think we think it. You know, and it comes, it goes, and we can make some progress in that area, but it's not really all that satisfying. When you fall to the heart, when you get to that heart and begin to live that heart and live and perceive from that heart chakra, you become these things. You become self-love, and you become this tender-hearted quality toward yourself and others, which increases the preciousness of each moment. Talking about no ordinary moments now. All right, we have talked about the difference between psychological work, and spirituality. You know, are both necessary. You know, I've seen people who have made, I think, progress in the spiritual realm, but it sometimes they have, you know, psychological issues. You know, that are apparent also. If a skilled person gets to a developed spiritual development, can he also be his own psychologist and to get at those areas that psychology, you know, repressed areas, things like that, the psychology does particularly well. So that's you know, that's a question we're all going to answer as we move forward. I don't have to take psychology, you know, to take therapy. You know, you need to go a certain frequency to make it sit, especially early on. At least 2 times a week. I sit 5 times every 2 weeks, but at least 2 times a week, 8 times a month. You know, and that's at $100 a pop. That gets to be expensive. I don't have that kind of money. I don't intend on spending that kind of money. So I'm banking on spiritual development and meditation and these breathings. The reason why I increased the breathing on Sudarshan Kriya was to try to, one of the aspects of Sudarshan Kriya you will see if you go back to As I Fall Back in On Effort Part 1 is flushing up of dark areas inside yourself that have been long there. And I went for the extra breathing to try to get those things flushed up. Didn't work. Okay, I'm telling you honestly, it didn't work. But that's the one thing I was shooting for also, as a way of my own psychology. So I'm particularly gifted at psychology, so I have great intuitive gifts in that area. So it may work for me, but that's an argument, that's a discussion that we have to have. We'll continue to have that moving forward. If you can do the whole thing spiritually, or do you have to have a psychological process to kind of therapy to kind of get you up and running and with some of your old things going on. So that's an interesting discussion we'll continue to have. Create from the heart. Okay, we know not only can we create with will from the solar plexus chakra, create our reality, which we can also create from the heart, which is planting a seed of thought into that heart and allow it to germinate, and don't do anything about it, and let the universe come and organize itself in a way that helps you achieve that and experience what you desire that you've placed in your heart. Okay, so creating with the heart, it appeals to me more than will. You know, creating with your will. There are plenty of people who can create with willpower, and you know, I'm impressed by them, and I respect them, and I respect that process. I've never been particularly good at that though. We have a litany of things that we have to be doing now. Anybody with their nose to the grindstone knows all of the things. You'll see a list in one of my videos of all the things that we're being asked to do, from discovering our I Am Presence to creating a divine romance with God. That's how Paramahansa Yogananda would put it. One of his great books was The Divine Romance, which I've read. I've read a number of books. We'll be talking about him later. The soul, get in contact with your soul. I listed a lot, and this is simply one of them, falling to the heart and learning to live from that heart. And we're going after this one because how many people are really doing the litany of things that we're supposed to be doing these days? It's a long list. And we're taking one, we're actually going to do that. Awakening You, a lot of those videos will have these things that we're all shooting for. So we have to keep those in mind, but we're going to get here and the rest are going to make sense. We have to, develop the pineal gland. We have to open up the third eye, the I Am Presence, like I said, things like that. And that's what we're doing here. We're taking one of them and we're going to get there, and then we're going to take a look at the rest and see what gives, okay? But very few people are probably actually doing a lot of these things, and I kind of want to slow down talking. It was supposed to be 12 minutes. My last review would turn out to be 26 minutes. I'm trying to avoid that now. So I tend to want to talk fast, but that's counterproductive, especially when you think about resonance, heart resonance. We want to speak, by the way, speaking of heart resonance, we want to speak, learn how to speak with heart resonance. Speak, you can feel it in your voice when you speak with heart resonance. Do you see? Something along those lines. I have found that if you learn how to speak from the heart, you can get away with murder. What you normally would have said that would cause friction, you can say, and it doesn't cause friction anymore. It doesn't create a confrontation. In relationships, things like that, people tend not to talk about things because they're worried about stuff like that. They tend not to talk about things to a degree that amazes me. That people in love relationships, married, and they don't talk about certain things. They go to a therapist and talk to him, but they won't turn to the person they love and talk to them because I guess they're afraid of friction or whatever. But that amazes me, how people don't talk to one another about sexual issues, anything. I can't talk. What do you mean you can't talk about him? He's your man. She's your woman. You better learn how to talk to them. One way of doing that is heart resonance. You can get away with murder talking with heart resonance. I've done it before. And if people sense you're coming from the heart, they accept what you're going to say. Otherwise, if they think they're coming from ego mind, they don't accept it. So learning to talk with heart resonance is something we're going to keep in mind as we move forward. Okay, the open rose ceremony. Now, as I increase the breath of the Sudarshan Kriya, here's one, what I'm doing now. I'm going up to the hills, and I sit in this one little plateau, probably a power spot. I'm sitting and I start doing the Sudarshan Kriya. I slow it down. What is a 35-minute practice turns into an hour 20, because I start to do things in between the work, in between the things I sit. And one of the things about the heart resonance is that you feel as though you're drinking in life from the heart now. You're not processing life through the mind. You're drinking it in momentary fashion into the heart, okay? And so I've come up with as I drinketh, okay? As I'm doing the Sudarshan Kriya, in between the movements, I do into each breath I fall, and into each moment, into each breath I fall, into each moment, that part. And then on the Brastrika, I go, as I drinketh this life, as I drinketh this space, as I drinketh this love, Jeshua, as I drinketh this genuineness, as I drinketh this spontaneity, as I drinketh this life, as I drinketh. See, that's what I do. That's my own, this is the first step I'm telling you, to do that process as we begin to soften and open up that heart, okay? And you can do that anytime. I do it before I go to sleep. You can do it if you meditate for 20 or something, take 3-4 minutes and do the as I drinketh, because that's what it feels like. It feels like you're drinking in life into your heart with that heart resonance, and it's quite beautiful, quite wonderful. Okay, the open rose ceremony. I'm going to slow down now, Jeff. Open rose ceremony, okay, that is in the last one. It says open rose ceremony. Go over that and see what it says. I do it naked. I go up this place far enough away. There's a road there, but I can hear people coming or not. And I'm completely naked with that. I spread the water. You go read what I did, and you'll see. And I do it completely naked. It feels kind of cool. I love being naked outdoors, apparently. But you got to be careful. I'm not suggesting you do it. I do it that way, and it feels nice. It feels nice to be naked out there in the woods. And it's a good feeling. I'm not. It's a good feeling. You know, it really is. It's not an unhealthy feeling. It's a healthy feeling. And do the open rose ceremony. Go back to that last video, the open, and look at that, and it'll show you how to do that open. That's provided by Mother Mary. Okay, it was provided by her on a Awakening You feed, and it's a process in which to open your heart, and you use rose quartz, and just go there and you'll see what it is. That is very helpful. I thought at first, gee, I'm going to go do this open rose ceremony and my heart's going to be open, but no, not really. But I do it 2 or 3 times a month, depending on what's going on. Sometimes it gets too hot, sometimes it gets too rainy where I want to go. So, but 2 or 3 times a month I do it, and you do it with love and with care, and you speak to Mother Mary. Tell her, this is my open rose, Mother Mary. This is my open heart, Mother Mary. As you're on the ground, you plead to the earth, Mother Earth, help me in this noble process. Help me open my heart. Help heal my heart, Mother Mary. Mother Earth. You know, those types of things. Funnily enough, I was doing that all naked. In that position here with the rose quartz in the hands and a rose quartz here in my foot. I'm looking up and there's buzzards circling, circling around. I go, wow, I better move so they don't know I'm dead. Funny though, you're looking up, there's buzzards circling around. You're wondering what you're doing, laying on the ground like that. So you got to be a little bit careful, and you don't want a buzzard nipping at your toes if you can help it. Okay, so I think this is going to do it for the second part of our review. Okay, so that's a good synopsis as well as the first one. If you listen to both reviews, you get a good idea of what we're doing here, and that's my intention to get to that. That is, it'll be good for today. I hope I got this one right. I hope it's not too long. It doesn't take too long for these things to get over time, and it makes me want to rush and speak faster, but I don't want to speak faster. I want to speak slower. I watched a video of this beautiful video I recently where the generator of the video was soft and sweet and slow and wonderful, and it's quite something, quite nice. Funny thought of the day, or let me think. Okay, so I've been a chef. Okay, I've been all over cooking. It's been very interesting in a lot of ways. I wasn't so much pain; it would have been more interesting. I found myself as a chef on top of the Occidental Petroleum Building in Westwood, outside of UCLA. Armand Hammer. He was a billionaire oil man, and he had a kitchen up there that when he had business people and stuff, they had a dining room, and that kitchen fed these parties and stuff like that he had. He dealt with the Soviets, which I didn't like at the time, and I almost didn't take the job, but the normal chef needed 2 months off, so I filled in for her. I had to promise her, it was such a great job, I had to promise her, she wouldn't leave. I go, come on, will you just leave? I promise I won't take your job, okay? I won't take it. I was better than she was, but I promise I won't take the job. Just go and relax. Take your time off and have some fun. I won't take the job. They did offer me the job. They did say, look, can you work with this woman because you're good? And I said no, because I told her that I wouldn't take the job. But it was fun to do for a month. The assistant, she had her assistant, and her assistant became my assistant. We were in the kitchen and we were working, and she put in a tart. I don't know if we both made it or she made it. I go over there, I look in the oven, and there's that tart. And it was done. I know it was done. I heard the tart's done, pull it out. I don't think it's done. I think I go, the tart is done. Pull it out. I can see that it's done. Now, I don't think that, so I go over there, I whip the door open, take the tart out, and put it on the rack, okay? She goes around the kitchen and starts crying. Oh, she's pregnant, by the way. She's, showing. She's 6 months pregnant. She starts crying, goes around the counter, and runs out into the hallway, tears streaming down her, running down the thing like this. And I'm sitting there looking at her do that. I go, shit, man, I've just lost this. It doesn't matter that I was right. The tart was done, but it doesn't matter that I was right. There's no argument I'm going to be able to come up with that's going to equal a pregnant woman running down the hallway with tears streaming down her face. Some guy's going to come in and say, why is the pregnant helper running down the hallway crying? I can't say, well, don't worry about it. I was right. See, look, the tart's done, sir. The tart's done, sir. Look, so I won, really, okay? So you're kind of talking to the wrong person. You need to go talk to the person that lost the argument, and you need to tell her to buck up a little bit, okay? That's not going to work. It doesn't work that way. I could be laying there in the kitchen with a knife in my back, and I still would not win that argument. There's no argument a guy can come up with that's going to equal a pregnant woman running down the hallway, tears streaming down her face. So, that's just the way it is. So anytime you gentlemen out there get caught with a pregnant woman running down the hallway because you were in a little verbal tussle, just take your medicine, because there's nothing you're going to say. It doesn't matter that you were right. There's nothing you're going to say that's going to equal or be fitting to counter a pregnant woman running down the hallway with tears streaming down her face. You've lost this one. Just admit it. Say you made a mistake. It'll never happen again. And take your medicine, okay? Because it just isn't going to work any other way. And that's the funny thought for the day. I hope you appreciate it. So thanks very much. And I hope this is better. And I appreciate you being around. Thanks. Thanks. I am Jeff Africa, citizen of Earth, loyal patriot of the United States of America, and I am not afraid. And these four I have chosen: Mother Earth, Paramahansa Yogananda, Jeshua Ben Joseph, and God herself, to help me see this through. Help me to get to my heart. These are the people that cut my check. These are the people that want this as much as I do. And these are the people that are going to help me get this done. And I have no doubt about this as we move forward. Remember, no doubts. Ever onward. The game is afoot. Bye.